video. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 9 of season 17 of Deadliest Catch. And this one's going to be a tough one, because this is the episode that Nick McGlashan passed away in. When he passed away, he was in Tennessee, and he passed away from a drug overdose. This episode starts out with Wild Bill, and he's in Anchorage, getting ready to fly into Dutch Harbor when he gets the call from Landon, his engineer on the Summer Bay, and Landon tells Wild Bill that Nick passed away. Now that Nick passed away, Landon has to step into Nick's role as deck boss of the Summer Bay. Then it goes to the Northwestern. The Northwestern is in Dutch Harbor, and they're getting ready to cast lines when Mandy's test comes back positive for COVID-19. So Mandy has to go into isolation off the boat until she gets 2 negative tests. The whole crew's worried. Then it goes to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is in harbor getting ready to go Opillio fishing. And they've brought on a new deckhand. His name is Carl Blind Dog. He's 3 times blind in one of his eyes. Jonathan has known him for years, but has never had him work on his deck. So then it goes to the Cornelia Marie. The Cornelia Marie is just heading out, and they're gonna go way out to the Russian line last year. That's where Casey hit it real good and did really, really well. They're heading out there, and it's gonna take them a while to get there, but they're gonna get out there and set their gear and see how it goes. Then it goes to the Wizard, and the Wizard is just leaving the harbor, go Opillio fishing, and they're gonna go way up north too. There's a massive 100,000 square mile storm coming that'll have 930 millibars of pressure on it, well below hurricane status. 950 millibars is hurricane status, and they're going to be well below that. So the fleet's going to be battling a massive storm. Then it goes back to the Northwestern, and Mandy starts walking the dock back to the Northwestern because she got the all clear. So everyone's gonna have to be on the boat in quarantine for 10 days. They'll get cleared to go out because they'll be way out in the ocean to have that 10 days pass before everyone is clear of having COVID-19. Sig hears about what happened with Nick McGlashan, and the fleet starts to learn about it, and they're all just bummed for Bill and hoping he'll be up there for Opillio fishing, and hopefully they'll get going. And the fleet is talking about it. Wild Bill is up in Dutch Harbor just getting to the boat, and he's greeted by the crew of the Saga, and Matt is really bummed that they lost Nick McGlashan. Nick McGlashan was only 33 years old when he passed away, and Matt knows what Nick was going through. Some of these Deadliest Catch fishermen have had addiction issues and knows what he was going through. And Matt is just really bummed about it. Then it goes to the Cornelia Marie. The Cornelia Marie had set all their pots out by the US-Russian border, where Casey did really good at the end of last season. They haul in their first pot of Opillio Crab has 545 Opillio Crab in it. Their second pot has 615 Opillio Crab in it. And their third pot they haul in has 715 Opillio Crab in it. I've not seen that many Opillio Crab in a pot in a long time. That is just awesome. They're all really excited. And this season, the Opillio fishery, they have about 30% more quota than they have in recent years. So a lot of the boats have pretty big Opillio quotas this year. Then it goes to the Summer Bay. Landon, who's now the deck boss on the Summer Bay, he brings on another crew member who was the former deck boss on the Cornelia Marie. I think his name's DJ. He comes on, and the Summer Bay is going to go cod fishing. And cod fishing is way different than crab fishing. It is still derby style. And derby style is fish until the quota is all caught up. They're getting ready to head out to the grounds and start their cod fishing season. Then it goes to the Northwestern. And the Northwestern is heading about 200 miles away from St. Paul, which will be up by the US-Russian line. And Mandy's taking the first night watch. Since they have to be on a 10-day quarantine, she decides to go about 70 to 80 miles away from St. Paul, because if they have to rush into town, it'll take them a full day or so. They'll be able to get to St. Paul pretty quickly. It goes through the crew going through that, and then Clark wakes up Sig and tells him what's going on, and once he figures out what Mandy did, he's not really happy, and he's like, Clark, go get Mandy, I want to talk to her. And Mandy reasons with Sig, and he's like, okay, we'll set him here. They start sending their gear right there. Then it goes to the Cornelium Re, and the Cornelium Re is still on really hot fishing. Then it goes to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is just getting out to the Opillio grounds. The grounds they're on, he's been fishing for many years. These grounds, he could load up the boat, offload, come back out, and the Opillio Crab would still be there, and he'd do that 4 times just to fill up the boat really quickly. They haul in their first pot, and it's full of sand fleas, which eats up the bait and basically useless. So he calls up Keith and asks him how he's doing, and he tells him that I'm in a bunch of sand fleas. Keith tells Jonathan, wait about a day or 2 and the sand fleas will die out because they don't last very long. So just set your gear back and it'll be good. Jonathan starts setting his gear back. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay starts sending their cod pots. In their first pot, they're really struggling to get it ready to be launched, and they finally get it launched, but it's taking a lot longer than Wild Bill wants it to. Then it goes to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is reset their gear. They haul it in, and they're getting about 500 bear dye crab in a pot. Is really happy about that. Then it goes back to the Wizard, and Keith, he wanted to set the gear towards the Russian line, but the storm made it impossible for him to go any farther, and he had about 204 pots on deck, which was making the boat really unstable, so he decided to dump most of his pots to keep the Wizard safe from tipping over. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern starts hauling in their gear, and the pots are coming up pretty empty. There's really not much, so Sig go through his gear and see what's doing good. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and they start going through their cod pots. The first pot comes up, and it has very little cod in it. So they set the pot back, and then start hauling in the next pot. The last pot they set, the last pot was being dragged, and it gets caught in the pot they just pulled up. So they have to get that pot unstuck, and Nick taught Landon the way to get it unstuck. They send it underneath the hole and run it back to the block. They get it up to the block, and they're kind of struggling with it. They don't have the pot fully attached, and Landon cuts it, and the pot falls to the bottom of the Bering Sea, and Wild Bill is not happy about it, and he's like, okay guys, we're gonna take a much needed break. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is still doing really good in their grounds. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern is still going through their gear, and they're hitting some pretty good numbers. He's like, it's not the best, but it'll work for now. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and Wild Bill calls Sig and is like, we're gonna head to Priest Rock and give the guys some closure in about 2 days, so if you guys are willing to, we'd love to have you there. And he's like, can you rally the troops and see if they can all come and be here to give Nick a send-off? Even though we don't know when his ceremony will be, we want to do it for the guys. Sig calls Jonathan on the Time Bandit and lets him know what's going on. And Jonathan's like, we'll try and be there for Wild Bill. And the word just starts spreading through the fleet to try and get there for Wild Bill. And they're like, we'll try and be there, but it just depends on how we're doing. Then it goes to the Wizard, and the Wizard is hauling in their gear, and they're getting about 300 plus Opillio Crab, which is really good. The word spreads even farther. It spreads to the Cornelium Re, who's hundreds of miles away from Priest Rock. They also call Harley, who is just getting their gear set and is just getting ready to start their Opillio season. He's like, we'll try and be there. Then it goes to the Wizard, and they're still doing good hauling in their gear. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay is at Priest Rock, and Wild Bill's like, if the guys don't show up, I get it, but it'd be nice if they were all here. And then all of a sudden he looks, and he sees all the Deadliest Catch boats out in front of him, and it starts going through all the boats, talking about Nick and Wild Bill over time, and Jake's like, I have Nick McGlashan's family on my boat right now. they're all just talking about Nick and giving him a goodbye ceremony. And then they light Nick's throwing hook, and they're like, this is the last time that Nick's throwing hook will be thrown ever. And they put a cloth on it with some lighter fluid. They light it, and then they throw it in the Bering Sea. And after that, all the crews grab flares that are outdated, and they start shooting the flares up into the air and holding flares to give Nick a proper send-off and to be there for Wild Bill and the Summer Bay crew. That is how episode 9 of season 17 of Deadliest Catch ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and please share this video with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.